Alright, Schlockmeister fans, going to do another TV show, one of my old reruns from my childhood. This time we're going to watch Battlestar Galactica, this Blu-ray box set. Let's check it out.
I realize you're all anxious to get back to your ships before our rendezvous with the Cylons. But I think it
apparently they're going to make peace with the Cylons.
The most significant event in the history of mankind.
The actor on the right is Rick Springfield.
Short notice. I mean, with everybody not wanting to go on this patrol, everybody wants to celebrate the armistice. I wonder who I'm going to be able to find.
Here we meet Baltar.
This conference would not have been possible without your tireless work.
Apparently he helped broker peace between them and the
for
Cylons.
yourself a place in the history books.
Here we meet Commander Adama, played by Lorne Greene.
Forgive me, Mr. President, but they hate us with every fiber of their existence. We love freedom, we love...
He doesn't quite trust the Cylons. Anyway, they're out on patrol, and what's supposed to be a peaceful time.
Oh, but 1,000 to 1, that's not fair. What's it mean? It means there isn't going to be any peace. There may not be much of anything if we don't warn the fleet.
So Apollo and Zach got to get back to warn the fleet.
Mr. President, there remain many hostile feelings amongst our warriors.
The likelihood of an unfortunate incident.
All those pilots in the sky at once.
I don't trust Baltar. Apollo had to leave Zach because Zach's ship was a little bit damaged, and unfortunately for Zach, well, that's the end of Rick Springfield. The Cylons, of course, are attacking everything, and there goes the President's ship. That's one less Battlestar.
It'll be full of Capricorns.
On the planet of Caprica, that is Jane Seymour as a newscaster.
The era of peace. So far, details of the armistice meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
And the next thing you know, the Cylons are attacking Caprica, live on air. There is Jane Seymour's son, Boxy. When it's all said and done, the Galactica is the only Battlestar left.
You will continue to rendezvous with the survivors of the fleet.
I'll take you, my fighter. You're the last surviving member of the Council, Father.
Adama finds his home on Caprica destroyed. His wife
I'm sorry, I
dead.
was never there when it mattered. The Gemins, the Virgo.
Any survivors left on any of the planets decide to form a caravan in space.
In all, 220 ships, representing every colony. I do know that it lies
What ancient colony are they trying to find?
in a galaxy very much like our own, on a planet called Earth.
Report, Centurion, on the final assault.
On each of the 12 planets, a similar story is told of a handful of ships who escaped destruction to rendezvous with a warship.
They're struggling to find food for all the survivors. Boxy's upset because his dog died.
Just what I thought. You're right at the top of my list. You know, I've been looking.
And my gifts.
Ray Milland. As usual, he plays an asshole.
Your feelings about denying your food to others?
My wife?
Cyrus Yuri, I don't see her.
So they ended up building a robot dog for Boxy. Muffet. Here we meet a potential love interest for Starbuck. That's Cassiopeia.
Your last night here about possibly not seeing another night as beautiful.
Dirk Benedict, of course, as Starbuck. Anyway, at one point the Galactica has to fly through this nebula type thing, kind of like a shortcut. They do it.
We thank you for your help, Volta. Your time is at an end. No, not now, Centurion. Remove him for public execution.
Starbuck and Boomer find this planet. They're looking for like supplies and stuff. On this same planet, Boxy's looking for Muffet, and what is that?
We found him and brought him
What
here.
it is an insect-like planet
Would you care to join him?
filled with creatures called Ovions. And that's where Starbuck and the Boomer were. Apparently there's a love triangle between Starbuck,
Good news.
Cassiopeia, and
I got us the key to the royal
Athena.
Why, thank you. We do appreciate.
Some of the revelers on the planet there take a wrong turn. We'll see what they see soon enough. Now we're going to find out when Cassiopeia goes down there. Turns out the Ovions are harvesting humans for food. The Ovions want all the people to come down to their planet,
You'll be counting uniforms.
including the warriors.
You'll be counting uniforms? Yes.
But if you're wrong,
Adama thinks it's a trap.
Yuri will destroy you.
I'm not wrong.
He doesn't want all of his warriors on the planet, because he thinks the Cylons are going to attack. Adama is right.
Nearly their full complement of warriors. See that the humans remain entertained until the end. Then they will be yours in the lower chambers.
Away from our ships.
Apollo and Starbuck are the first to find out what the Ovions are doing.
The Ovians are living off of them. They're probably selling the titanium they mine to the Cylons.
They rescue Cassiopeia, and then run into some Cylons.
There's just too many of them. Go up in the ceiling. Set fire to the titanium.
Sure enough, the Cylons are attacking the Galactica and the fleet. But Adama's plan does work, because all of the Viper pilots are available.
Father, they're ours with all of.
They're able to push back the Cylon attack, but Apollo and Starbuck go rogue to try to lure one of the Cylon's base ships down to the planet
This is Green Leader to Red. All ships in formation and ready for attack. Come in.
by trying to fool them.
Yes, lovely. What do we do, Rammer?
We are now picking up attacking warriors on the scanner. We are too close to the surface.
Sir.
It is a deception. Open fire and retreat from the planet.
Not sure exactly what they did, but their plan worked. Whole damn planet blew.
I will spare them.
They are
The new Imperious leaders decided to spare Baltar.
not likely to be receptive.
I will send with you a base star.
And that's how our episodes
entirely under
end.
your command.
Saga of Star Wars,
Lucifer.
parts 1, 2, and 3.
Serena and I have decided. That is, if Boxy is willing and supportive, we would like very much to be married.
Episode 4, Lost Planet of the Gods, part 1.
Come on.
Baltar's going to be leading a base ship with Lucifer.
I think I can assure you, with some sense of pride, you will inherit the most capable Centurions.
Apollo and Starbuck are out on patrol. They go into some sort of weird place in space, and Starbuck gets lost.
By the Cylon capital.
Jolly and Boomer are out on patrol now too, and they found a Cylon outpost on some asteroid somewhere. They come back for Apollo's bachelor party, and Apollo's not even there yet, but Boomer gets sick.
Hey, Boomer, what's wrong?
Apparently, Boomer and
I don't know
Apollo,
what got into them.
Boomer
It must have
and
been the excitement of the party.
Jolly brought back
Excitement of the party.
a virus,
Come on, Colonel.
which could infect everybody.
Security?
Even tell me.
With all the pilots
No
sick,
one told me. Does my father know?
No, he doesn't get a report.
Adama's having other people join.
It's too dangerous. I won't let you do it.
Oh, you don't have any choice.
Serena, we're about to be married.
What does that have to do with it?
Shuttle
So a bunch of ladies sign up.
Put your suit on before.
In great outfits, by the way. Apollo and Starbuck are the ones to
This suit under your uniform,
train
you
them.
can't survive the G-forces you'll pull under combat. The closest they've ever been to a Viper was probably at an armament day display.
Dr. Salik wants to send a medical team back to the asteroid where Charlie and Boomer contracted the disease. It's the only way to find the root cause of it.
Anyway, a squadron's got to go out, so it's a squadron of women.
You did it, Bree. You did it.
Blue Squadron launched.
And wouldn't you know it, they run into some Cylons out there. But the women hold their own.
Proceeding according to my plan, except you have not captured one of their pilots as I ordered. To assure such a capture, we would have to risk being discovered. You ordered us out of the Galactica scanner range.
Episode 5, Lost Planet of the Gods, Part 2.
I have a better idea. Apollo can lock on me. I'll fix on the Galactica and we can triple our range.
Serena, Apollo, and
Nobody. Just come back, Starbuck. If anybody's
Starbuck are out on patrol.
it'll be me.
Unfortunately, Starbuck gets captured.
I like the way you haven't gone overboard on furniture. Thanks.
It will go better for you, Lieutenant, if you'd show a little respect.
Baltar has a plan to trick him into peace.
To convince the humans that we come bearing the twig of peace? Yes. It is illogical to assume they would ever trust you again.
They believe Starbuck is dead. Apollo and Serena go ahead with their marriage.
I declare you sealed.
It looks like Egypt, but Adama believes they've reached the world of Kobol, where human life began. So he, Apollo, and Athena head down to the planet. One of the few times you see Adama on the planet.
I know exactly how you feel.
They discover Baltar down there. It was actually Serena, not Athena, who went down. Baltar arranged for Starbuck to be released as part of his plan.
Yeah, I guess you did.
Hey everybody, it's Starbuck. He's back.
They obviously still don't trust
I cannot
Baltar.
stay here too long before my machine friends will become nervous and do something rash.
Eventually became the colonies we knew.
He's trying to find a key to where the 13th colony may be. Earth.
Final days of Kobol. It tells the 13th tribe.
Can you tell where they went?
While this is happening, of course, the Cylons are attacking. Baltar gets hurt, and they decide to leave him.
Up to your part, limb from limb, circuit by circuit, so help me. You have not heard the last of Baltar.
Anyway, after they leave that pyramid,
Yes, we must get off the surface as quickly as possible.
there's a little Cylon sneak attack. And that was Serena who got shot. Jane Seymour was leaving the show, and yes, this is her death scene. And apparently Richard Hatch really was crying on set. Episode 6, The Lost Warrior.
Expecting any help, Boomer?
Apollo's being chased by Cylons.
Missions are for Cylon ears.
He's trying to lure them away from the Galactica. And it's working. He manages to escape the Cylons, but then he ends up running out of fuel and crashes on the planet Equelis or something like that, which is kind of like a Wild West planet. He meets a woman named Vela and her son Puppis.
How long has this man Lacerda been taking tribute?
Vela is the actress Catherine Kennan from Beverly Hills 90210.
Just lets us keep enough ovines to get by on.
Why would somebody stand
There's a mafia-type guy named Lacerda on this planet. Lacerda's muscle is a guy named Red-Eye, who you recognize as a Cylon. Apparently he crashed here several years ago, and now rules the roost. Apparently Puppis' father was killed.
Went crazy the moment he saw him. I mean, there was no way I could stop him. He ran into the bedroom where he kept his pistol hidden, and when he came out,
They killed him.
that was 9 yards ago.
Apollo goes into town to investigate a little bit.
don't suppose you want a drink?
I do not ingest consumables.
In this case, you're not missing anything.
Claude Earl Jones plays Lacerta. He's like a mafia boss.
Man killed. Why are you here?
I heard of your red eye. I was curious.
Another dangerous drink.
Where'd you find him?
Yes.
They want to go back to find Apollo.
Adama, they want to go after him.
Starbuck and Boomer?
Every pilot on the Galactica, including me.
No vines.
Not sure if this is a friend or family member of Vel and Puppis, but he's had enough.
No more. Not this Oviner.
Here comes old Red Eye in a draw.
No, Marcos wants to kill you. Get back in Lacerta's graces. He used to be his right hand before we found Red Eye.
You found him?
He crashed in the mountains. Later on, that leads to a draw between Red Eye and Apollo. And that's the end of Red Eye.
Boomer, let's give him another centon.
We did that 5 centons of gold, Starbuck.
They're almost out of
I
fuel.
want to see him come out of there as much as you do, but if we don't leave now, we'll never get back.
Apollo was able to salvage some fuel from the downed Cylon ship and escapes just as they were about to leave.
We just about given up on you, buddy.
And that's how this episode ends. Episode 7, The Long Patrol.
Looking forward to a few centons in space.
As the title indicated,
Just me, a fast ship, and a fair galaxy.
Starbuck is going on a long patrol
Double deranging speed. They even installed a voice-activated computer that can outfly anything.
on a brand new, very fast Viper.
My pilot doesn't need all that electron.
While he's out in space there, he sees this spacecraft being chased by a couple of fighters.
May I suggest a high-speed flyby kicking in?
The guy has to crash his ship. Starbuck goes to investigate.
Drop it. I'm sorry, lad. I'm sorry. I thought you were the pirate that was chasing me. They're probably...
The guy is a bootlegger selling ambrosia. And after he gains Starbuck's trust,
Your flying is the answer to all my dreams.
he turns the tables and decides to steal the Viper. Starbuck wakes up and takes off in the other guy's ship and is immediately mistaken for the bootlegger that was being chased by these guys.
Goodbye, robber.
I'm not Robert.
He ends up in a jail.
What have we here? What's your name, lad?
Starbuck.
Starbuck.
So Apollo's been sent to shoot down the Viper if they find it.
Squadron patrol. Disengage your attack.
Pull up, pull up. The Galactica's countermanding the attack.
Pulling up.
They realize something was amiss.
Boomer?
Apollo and Boomer follow him down to the planet. Whoever has this Viper here, this guy, get into a shootout with him.
One thing for sure.
Starbuck finds out that all the jail cells are unlocked. And these guys can escape if they want to.
Are all the cell doors unlocked?
They haven't worked in generations.
Then come out.
No, we can't.
Oh, no. We're prisoners.
Anyway, eventually convinces them to come out, just as Apollo and Boomer are coming to rescue him.
Apollo. Starbuck.
Here they come again.
They all take off. They have a little Cylon problem. The Cylons end up blowing up all the ambrosia on the planet. Or at least a good chunk of it. But all ends well, and our heroes make it back to the Galactica. Episode 8, The Gun on Ice Planet Zero. Part 1. The Vipers are heading towards this planet. Unbeknownst to them, there's this big pulsar cannon. There goes a Viper. That cannon's not done either. Anyway, they want to capture a Viper pilot with the Cylons, and this guy ends up crashing on this ice planet. This is the planet where that big pulsar cannon is.
Colonel?
They're going to send a team out.
Program of computer research for qualified personnel. Experienced in Arctic survival, expert in mountaineering, highly specialized in heavy demolition.
Yes, sir.
Starbuck thinks it's a suicidal mission, so he maneuvers the computer, manipulates it to pick a bunch of criminals from their prison barge
Demolitions expert, Snow Garrison.
to go on the team.
One-man task.
Meanwhile, that pilot that landed he's about to be captured by the Cylons. So this team is heading to the planet. Viper gets shot down. And a big freighter gets a hole in the side, which is causing them to crash. A few injuries, and this criminal,
Some internal bleeding.
he's gonna get himself a gun. Might need that later.
Anybody else hurt?
It's another pass.
Guess who decided to stow away on this mission, unbeknownst to Apollo?
Muffet, shh.
Foxy.
Well, that guy who had the gun is on top as they're driving away. They end up shooting their vehicle, and they lose all power. And they're stranded there now. They were all frozen and cold and perhaps near death.
Muffet, you came back.
Foxy?
You okay, Dad?
When this group managed to rescue them.
Fortunate your Daggett found our hunting party.
That's the actress Britt Eklund. Anyway, they're going to help lead them to the cannon and stuff.
The injured members of your party will stay here. They will be tended to. We will guide the rest of your party to the village.
And then
Hectares from the Galactica.
Have them attack the Galactica.
But then they will not have enough fuel to return. That's suicide.
They're machines.
Useful war.
So on that ice planet, they meet the creator. He's been creating all these clones that are down there.
Call that monstrosity on the mountain a weapon of peace?
It is an energy lens system.
He also created that
designed to
cannon.
transmit intelligence across the galaxy.
They've captured one of the
alone. I've always been a little
members of the criminal team.
You are from the Galactica.
Never heard of it.
The Cylons have captured one of your party.
He has a plan, though.
Just press that button.
He said that will give you all the information you want. Anyway, the Cylons have finally discovered the Galactica and are making an attack.
Laser turrets.
On the surface, we've got an avalanche. One of the criminals decided he wants out of there. He's got a little taste of freedom and he's going to run with it.
Don't shoot!
Meanwhile, the fleet is getting a little perilously close to that planet. Starting to pick off parts of the fleet.
I'll be with you as fast as I can.
Where you going? We will help you destroy the garrison. The pulsar weapon belongs to us.
Keep that gun. And the Galactica is blown out of the sky.
When news of our revolt,
More human than I had ever anticipated. I shall have to review my notes to see where...
He's going to tell them to help the Galactica crew.
Those are your brothers out there in space. We have to help them. Destroy the pulsar.
Just as they're about to shoot the Galactica down, Starbuck and his crew manage to blow up the gun.
Commander, we've picked up an explosion.
A handful of humans successfully destroyed the Ravishal pulsar. Despite all of your garrisons and squadrons and the biggest weapon in the universe? But the strategy was yours, Boltar.
The chance of a lifetime. 3 versions of the same beautiful woman. I mean, can you imagine the possibility?
I can imagine.
You can?
Yeah, another time.
Okay, Captain,
Bye.
Episode 10, The Magnificent Warriors. The fleet finds themselves attacked by the Cylons. They're going to take out some of the aggro ships for planting. Puts a crimp in their food supply.
We lost our airlock, we lost our crop. We won't be able to force grow enough to feed our planters.
They need more seed.
I want you.
This woman has an energizer that they want to use, but she's only going to give it up if she can get a little love from Adama. So they go down to this planet where there's some sort of race called the Boras who are going up against these humans. They hope to get some seed from this planet. There's a little bit of a civil war going on down there. Nonetheless, they arrive and they want to trade her energizer for some seed and stuff.
Be very careful not to lose our way of...
Great special effects on that planet back there.
Anything would happen to us.
Hoping for the possibility of a trade-off.
You know, that's an interesting idea. A couple of strong young fellows like you would fit right in with our needs.
He wants to use them for their labor,
No, we
though.
weren't talking about us.
Their offer gets rejected, but as they're trying to leave, someone tosses a net on them and then runs off with their energizer. Starbuck's going to try to win some money back, though, by gambling.
Short of buying that seed,
Bogan, maybe you'd care to play with me head-to-head, seeing as how you seem to be the man to beat. Well,
Bogan tricked him into taking
this
this
is all mine. Yeah.
little medallion there, which makes him the constable of the place
Name's
by law.
Congratulations, Constable Starbuck.
I don't think
Easier. Ever since the Boreas found out that it was easier to steal food rather than grow their own, we've been losing our lives.
Why don't you get rid of the odorous vermin?
The Boreas attack.
I have to apologize for deceiving you into saving our town, but we're desperate people here. Anyway, you're not like us.
Adama?
She was
thank
kidnapped by the
God, what
Boreas.
courage, what love you must have to come and deliver me.
They're trying to negotiate some sort of truce. Adama had no luck, but Starbuck pulled it off. We'll find out how he did it in a minute.
Let's get out of here while the getting is good.
He did it by making this guy the new constable.
Constable, no doubt. Somebody better buy him a drink. Doesn't like to be kept waiting.
It's episode 11, The Young Lords. As usual, our heroes are being attacked by the Cylons. Starbuck's ship is injured, so he's going to have to crash land on this planet called Attila. Guess Boomer will come back for him. However, on this planet, there's a bunch of Cylons. Starbuck's ship is detected, and he's captured. But as he's being led away, somebody attacks the Cylons, kills them all. Rescue Starbuck.
Too well planned.
It's a bunch of kids.
You attacked them. They are the enemy.
They're a family.
They took all we ever had. So now we hurt them. We attack their ammunition depots, fuel dumps. The only way to get father back.
But they plan to trade him to the Cylons for their captured father.
Of course I do.
Then there's nothing to discuss. We trade Starbuck to the tin cans for father.
The only intelligent thing...
That's the father.
You think me a fool, Spectre? But you think I know that you'll never go through with this unholy trade? What you believe is irrelevant. How...
Father!
Starbuck knows their plan now. Here's the Cylons, and it looks like it's a ruse. That's not really his father. It's a dummy. But one good ruse deserves another. That's not Starbuck.
Those little swine. They deceived me. The information you need.
They're going to try to rescue his father now. Their father.
You actually believe that, daddy-driven?
Lucifer, this jealousy is simply not like you. Spectre is doing a wonderful job.
And they're able to get in and get Dad. And just as the rescue's ending, Apollo and Boomer show up to take Starbuck back.
Apollo! Boomer! Starbuck!
Episode 12, The Living Legend, Part 1.
Apollo!
Our heroes are being attacked again, as usual.
Yeah, good luck, old buddy. Dispatching automatic distress to the fleet.
But their attackers are not Cylons. Fellow humans? Is it possible?
Ceasefire, that's an order.
Are you crazy? Kane will have us for dinner.
Turns out there's another Battlestar left, the Pegasus,
It's just another attack.
as Lloyd Bridges as Commander Kane, famed military warrior.
Myself, I would never see another human.
There's just no possibility of any signal like that existing.
Greetings, Adela. You old war dragon. Might have known I'd find you and your fleet sitting dead in your astrals. Kane. At least until morning.
Kane wants to attack.
And we'll have all the fuel we need. And a base from which to attack.
We can't secure that planet. And those base ships, which hadn't been...
Turns out that Cassiopeia had an affair with Kane.
Cassie.
And they're reunited.
Crammed aboard slow-moving barges, you have to learn to keep a low profile.
Sounds like we're going to be incompatible.
That's Sheba
We all have to learn to
and
adjust.
Lockhart,
Even the legendary Commander Kane may have to alter his
Kane's
combat
daughter.
techniques.
And who's going to tell him?
Cylon tankers.
They find some tankers out there that are going to try to steal the gas, fuel.
Okay, here we go, Blue Squadron. Go to work. For Lord's sake,
So they're working together to attack the Cylons, protecting those tankers.
those tankers in.
They get all the Cylons blasted out of the sky, and then Kane does something unusual. He fires at the tanker. He's going to claim it was accidental.
But I prefer to deal with the problem, and the probabilities are, because of our combined strength now, that we can achieve our first clean victory since we lost the war.
Adam is in charge, and he does not want to fight. He wants to save
I'm
lives.
going to relieve you of any further responsibility of making decisions contrary to orders. You're relieved of your command.
Baltar's planning to attack.
Wait, I have an even better idea. I will accompany the strike force. You going to... Yes.
Stand aside.
The crews of the two Battlestars aren't exactly seeing eye to eye anymore.
What do you think you're doing?
Fighting for our commander and our lives.
The commander has accepted the order. Now, why don't you show the same good sense?
They're trying to get the fuel from the Pegasus.
It's out of control.
The Cylons are attacking.
We cut off.
So Galactica's burning.
Burn, Galactica. You're finished.
Here comes the Pegasus.
I don't want to miss a moment of the last Battlestar's destruction.
I really think you should take a look at the other Battlestar.
Babbling about up.
Episode 13, The Living Legend, Part 2.
Retreat.
Cylons are retreating. They weren't expecting 2 Battlestars.
Stalking us.
Attack
Losing
planes.
lives in exchange for that base goes against everything I believe in.
But we wouldn't lose any lives. 2 Battlestars would completely overwhelm Gamorre.
Or you're with us. Father's orders, remember?
Kane doesn't want Sheba on her ship.
The whole thing was my idea. I'll take her place.
You can't point out the Cylon command base of Gamorre. She can't.
Where's your med tech?
Anyway, the good guys are gonna land on this planet of Gamorra, or the city of Gamorra, which is a Cylon planet, Cylon city. It's all part of their plan to attack these Battlestars. I'm sorry, the bases.
All but assured.
Imperious leader is here, too, to witness this.
Oh, what, pray tell, was that?
There go the bunkers.
They're trying to blow the place up.
Reports coming in are accurate.
The fact that Gamorre is being attacked is perfect. It means the colonial fleet is completely unprotected.
So Baltar launches an attack.
Straight through their task force. To Baltar's base ship.
Yes, sir.
Commander Kane has a plan as well.
And when Baltar figures out that you're after his hide, he'll recall all of his forces attacking Gamorre.
Look, there's one more thing. About that lady. The
Cassiopeia.
one that seems to mean so much to you. I watched her save a life today, and she risked her own to do it.
And we've got an attack.
Starbuck? Yo. So many of you can't miss. Yeah, but I just lost bunker and tags. Laser fire so thick you could walk on it.
You wouldn't be asking me that if you didn't already know.
Yes, I do know. And I want you to reverse course immediately. You're steering directly into the Cylon base ships. You'll kill every man and woman aboard the Pegasus.
It's all been arranged, Commander. All honest.
I'd like to see this one through with you. To the end.
I appreciate your offer, Starbuck. And if I'm right, Baltar's fighters are on their way back. And if they run into our shuttles, Apollo's gonna have all the help he can get.
Trouble is, we can't stay
So
here.
Kane is taking the Pegasus to attack these 2 base stars. Meanwhile, Apollo and Starbuck are trying to knock out the guns for it. Kane's plan works. And the 2 base ships are destroyed. Meanwhile, the Pegasus went out into deep space and we don't see it again. It's presumed that he survived, though.
Can't see anything but...
So Sheba is left back in the Galactica.
Not too long. She needs to build back her strength.
Any word?
No, but that's nothing to be concerned about. Your father wouldn't break communication silence and reveal his position.
Alright, let's talk about Battlestar Galactica. This was a show that came out in, I believe it was the fall of 1978, played in 78 and 79. Only ran for 1 season, and then they had like a second, kind of like a sequel series called Galactica 1980, which came out in, 1980, which had, I think, 10 episodes on it. I'm halfway through season 1 here. It's just too many episodes, too much time to do it would be a super long video if I did all 24 on one. So we're doing half of them here. So anyway, this series introduces everybody: Adama, Apollo, Starbuck, Sheba, what was her name? Serena, played by Jane. Forget her name. Jane Seymour. Maren Jensen, of course, as Athena. A lovely Maren Jensen. This is a show that was obviously inspired kind of by Star Wars, which came out a year earlier. I think one of the same guys, John Dykstra maybe, who worked on Star Wars, worked on some of the effects of this show too. It's pretty good, and it wasn't a very expensive show to produce at the time, which was the biggest reason why it only lasted one season. As I recall, it was a pretty popular show. People liked it, but it was just too costly. Now, some of the episodes are definitely cheesy. The Cylons themselves, I guess they're kind of considered a little cheesy maybe, but I think they're fantastic characters. They're robotic, they're shiny metal, and they got that little red thing, and they got that robotic voice, which is so cool. It's very memorable watching those. Obviously, they made a remake of the show in the early 2000s, I believe, and the Cylons were more like humanoids, creatures, kind of like Data in Star Trek Next Generation. But anyway, you can get this box set. It's on Blu-ray in two different forms. This is the one that kind of is the most sought after one, because this one has... See, they released a Blu-ray set where they made it widescreen, which makes no sense because the series itself was shot on television or for television, and it wasn't widescreen back then. That's what one of the cheaper Blu-ray box set is like, that widescreen. If you're a purist and you want the way it was originally shown, this is what you want, because this box set has actually both versions. It has widescreen and full screen. I've been watching the full screen ones because, well, that's how the show was originally shown. The Blu-rays themselves, they're fantastic looking. They look great. I think this was Universal who did this, right? I can't remember, but this is a fantastic Blu-ray series. I definitely recommend getting this. It's good stuff. Unfortunately, this thing is a little bit pricey. It might cost you $80-90 or so, but it's well worth it. It's got Galactica 1980 in it too, as well as has the original movie in here, as well as the TV pilot movie, which is the same thing, just with some added scenes to it. So, but anyway, it's a good show. I like it. I like the characters. I just pretty much like everything about it. Cheesy at times, yes, but overall, very entertaining stuff and very memorable to me. Like I said, I watched the show when it first came out. I was a little boy, but I remember watching Battlestar Galactica. I think it was Sunday nights, and I'll watch it with my parents too. So anyway, check it out, Battlestar Galactica. I'm sure everybody's seen this show. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. I'll be doing part 2, the rest of the episodes from this season, shortly.